Knicks fans, welcome to another episode of Delusional, Knicks Fan Network, where we bring you that Knicks content that you need. Knicks winning streak continue with 5 in a row. The OT thriller in Chi-Town, 128 to 120. Ladies and gents, Knicks were playing defense in the first quarter, pretty much locking up, playing D, getting offense. Knicks had the lead at the halftime. We were playing great. Was feeling confident. I'm like, we are good. Then, of course, coming into the third quarter, I'm looking at the stats. It's stating that the Knicks are 14-2 when leading at the half. They win 14 games. They lost 2. I'm like, I'm feeling good looking at the stats, But then, of course, when they bring the stats out like that, we usually lose. But it was going good. Third quarter come in, lots of turnover, lots of fouls. DeMar DeRozan started to get it going as I expected. He pretty much averaged last year, 4 games against the Knicks, around 30 points. Went to the line, I believe, total like 31 for 32. So I expected DeRozan to go to work. Then the fourth quarter was a tug of war game. Chicago get the lead, the Knicks get the lead. With RJ falling out, I'm like, oh man, what is going on? Are we gonna see somebody? Are we gonna see Fournier? Negative. We might see Deuce. Negative. What about Cam? 6'8", could potentially play defense at the 3 since RJ's at the 3. Wrong. He brought in Emmanuel quickly, which I have no problem with. So that means Q Dot will have to guard the small forward spot, which I believe he still stayed on DeRozan, but they put Quick on Zach LaVine, which I'm like, Zach LaVine like 6'6", Quick like 6'2", 6'3". But let's see how it plays out. A couple of fouls, couple of plays here and there. We end up in OT. And then in OT, how we ended up in OT is Sir Julius pretty much playing ISO ball for like the last 5 minutes of the game, last 2 minutes actually. But he was making shots. It was a mismatch as far as Caruso being switched on with the pick and roll. But it was a play where he got triple teamed, dished the ball out to Quentin Grimes, and Quentin made the basket. Now, for me, I think Julius should have passed that ball. Once he dribbled in the paint, you pretty much, everybody collapsed, and you did that on about, I want to say 4 plays back to back. So switch it up. Keep the defense on their toes where you dribble, penetrate, and you pass it. I know you want to be the man, but you just saw Quentin hit the key bucket twice. So why not? Anywho, Jalen Brunson initiate the offense in the overtime. Started to go to work. Knicks prevail. What a game, ladies and gents. What a game. Now, this was a much needed win for the Knicks. And I'm going to tell you why Game 5 was much needed. Previous games we played, a lot of the key players that the Knicks faced were out. No LaMelo Ball, no De'Aaron Fox, and so forth. Now, Chicago, even though their record doesn't show, still a great team. They got 3 better players than the Knicks have. And DeRozan and Zach LaVine and Nurkic. Is it Nurkic or Vucevic? Forgive me. Nikolai, excuse me. And the Knicks needed this win to showcase, hey, we played not great defense because Chicago still put up 120 points. But we was able to, when need to, lock down, get things going. Because Chicago really didn't have it going until the second half. That first half, Knicks was playing well. Yes, I think DeRozan only had about 11 points. Uh, Zach probably only had, I think, 9 or 10 at the half. So most of the buckets did occur in the second half. Because RJ in foul trouble, we was a lot of foul trouble, a lot of fouling, hacking and whacking. I think even Grimes had 4 or 5 fouls. He had 4. So, but the Knicks prevailed with Brunson coming back from a ankle contusion that we thought he was going to be out. Started the game, you see him coming out the tunnel. You thought it was Willis Reed or something. Like, let me not go to that extent. Um, but Brunson came out, was looking fresh, back, and I can't say his hometown, but back in Chicago where he played high school ball at, where he was Mr. Illinois. So he had a lot to prove with a big 30 ball game from JB, which was great, great overall game. I enjoyed. Win, lose, or draw, I would have been happy with this game. Would have been happy with this game. Why? Because it was entertaining. You saw the potential what we can do on defense as well as on offense. Not to say Chicago is a great offensive team, but once the ball is moving, once we play with smarts, once we play with IQ, we can beat teams. And IQ, I don't mean quickly. I mean with our intelligence. You know, once the ball is moving, you saw Grimes hitting buckets. You saw Deuce hitting buckets. You know, Quick getting buckets. You saw. Let's look at the stats. Let's look at the stats here. Let me see what my stats are. So I'm all over the place. Barrett came through on a efficient 3-point shooter. I was on his ass. Pause. I was on him. Talk about get back in the gym, work on it. 100% from the free throws. You 4 for 7 for 3, 57%. I can live with that. I can live with that. The 8 for 17, we take the high 47s. If he could finish his season with averaging 47 field goal, that's good with me. That's good for me. Julius also started the game hot, shooting down his threes, shooting the last 4 games. Now make it 5. Julius has been shooting over 37% for 3. That's good for me. And of course, career high of 15 field goal attempts. You made 12 for 15. That's good. That's good. Even though down the clutch you missed one, I'm still good. But 8 and 19, 42%. Julius literally got the award for Eastern Conference Player of the Week. And the Knicks went 3-0, and he's averaging over 30 points. This is tough. When Jules play like this, you have the Knicks fan on one end saying, yes, he's playing good, trade him. Then you have the organization and other people. It's like, we don't have anyone that can give us this amount of attention, production from the forward spot. What do you do with Julius? You trade him and get subpar players to fit a team, or you keep Julius with his individual talent and ability and you ride it out until the end of the season, and then you figure out what you do. I think we keep Jules till the end of the season. It hurts saying that. I'm repping the 30 right now. 30 in the clip. But it's tough. It's tough. Like, Julius have us in a tough situation. Because we don't have production. You know, can Opie give us these numbers? Maybe in a different way, not the way Julius do it. Julius will command triple teams. Opie will give you the sneaky 30 of where it's all outlets, 5 3-pointers that, no one is staying off of him. I mean, we can see Opie putting up numbers, but the style will be different. Um, and right now, Tibbs is loving what the Knicks are doing. 5 in a row. This completely came out the blue. I did not expect my team to switch up just with two players out the rotation for us to play better defense. And Julius is playing better D. I think ultimately that's what it was, to have Julius and RJ play better D, because the bulk of it can't be on Derrick Rose and Cam Reddish stating that they can't play D. They can play defense. But it's the fact that you had more players that were slacking. So when you insert, better front line of defense, it will give these other players a little ability to kind of slack. So, but man, and Mitch has been on a rampage on the rebounding, but also his positioning, also his pick and roll has gotten a lot better. Defense, like Mitch is getting there. Played 35 minutes, only had 2 fouls. Mitch, that's money Mitch right there. It's money Mitch. 8 and 10. Would have loved for it to be more rebounds. Well, once we got Julius out there grabbing them boards. Look, you even got, even Isaiah in his 15 minutes grabbing 8. Would have loved more. But I'm happy with that. Your defense is there. How many blocks you have, Mitch? Mitch had 2 blocks. So, man, Mitch, let's go. Happy about that. Quentin Grimes, 5 for 8, 62%, 4 for 7. Barely get the ball, but clutch when he got it. We needed him on defense. D&3, so I guess he's a legit D&3 player. Quickly coming off the bench with 34 minutes. He was 40%, 4 for 10, 1 for 4. So it's just overall 9-man rotation is still good. Even Jumpman Sims came in with 8 minutes, gave you a bucket and a block. So Knicks, this was a great win. Now, the issue with this great win, my man Jalen Brunson with the 30. How could I forget JB with the 30? But I think I stated that before. So now, this is what I need for my Knicks. This next game is in Chicago. It's a playoff style game where you play the same team back to back. We gave them our all. They're going to give us our all. We're back on their home court. Let's finish this. Friday night Knicks on MSG. Hate that song. But Friday night, back in Chicago, playoff style, we have to win. We have to win. Why do we have to win? I'm going to show you guys why do we have to win. Look at the standings, right? We are currently in 6-5-13. That would literally bring us to 6-13. We could probably, I think Philly got a game tomorrow or Friday. We could still be obviously in the 6, but look who's behind us, right? At 15-14, you have the Indiana Pacers. We play the Pacers, on Sunday. This is a pivotal game to really separate us from the play-in scenario at this moment. It's still early, but we need to separate as far as we can, because Indy's balling same way the Knicks is. We got to get them out of here. Especially you got Halliburton coming in. He wanted to be a Knick. He wanted the Knicks brass to draft him, so he's going to want to put in numbers. Miles Turner out there, who's been working out with Julius, who's been rumored with the Knicks last year. These guys got chips on their shoulders. Buddy Hield out there shooting threes. We got to close Friday out against Chicago for the home-and-home playoff style. Then, on Sunday, you have Indy coming in at the Garden. Actually, no, we're going to be in Indianapolis, right? Yeah, I think we're going to be in Indianapolis. Got to close that out. Got to close that out. Overall, everybody got a A minus from me from this game. JB, like I said, he's not the hometown guy, but he played high school ball in Chicago, Mr. Illinois, 30-7, dropped Caruso with the splash. We rolling, Knicks. We are rolling. 15-13, 5-game win streak. It's nothing better than that. Knick Nation, we back. We back. Deuces.
If I say so, I'ma do it for the pesos. I fell in love with the bass load. I fell in love with the bass load. I see the ox staying